Hey everybody, so today I am in the country of Singapore, and as you can see behind me, you can also see Malaysia from here. And today I'm about to walk the entire length of Singapore. I'm starting today's adventure on a small island in the northeast corner of Singapore. This island is called Serangoon, and Singapore is a country that has about 6 million people and about the size of Chicago. But despite being so small and densely populated, it still makes room for beautiful nature. Today's walk will be mostly on a trail called the Coast to Coast Trail that stretches the entire length of Singapore. I don't know how much I'm going to deviate from this trail, but it's about 20-something miles long, so this should be a fun day. I arrived in Singapore yesterday after about 24 hours of flying. And then yesterday I walked all around the country for about 50,000 steps. So I might have to take a few breaks along the way. I got a little distracted while making this video and walked about a quarter mile in the wrong direction. Off to a good start. If you look on a map, Singapore is just to the south of Malaysia. And it actually used to be part of Malaysia until not super long ago. Malaysia kicked them out and made them be their own country. But joke's on them, because now Singapore is the home of crazy rich Asians. Singapore's geography explains why it's such a rich country nowadays. It's kind of the chokehold in terms of international trade between China and Europe. So all the ships that go to and from China have to go right around Singapore. And because of that, if you look out into the ocean from Singapore, it's like hundreds of different ships just as far as the eye can see. They've got a juice shop here called Coco Cane. This person's bird has been missing for 3 months. So if you see this bird, please let them know. They got chickens here. I've done a couple of different walking challenges before. A few years back, I walked across Denmark in 2 days, and the year after that, I walked across Switzerland and Liechtenstein in about a week. And this is the first of the walking challenges where I just have a nice path the whole way. This has been a very strange trail. For parts of it, it clearly marks off where walkers should go and where bicyclists should go. But then in other parts, it's like, well, hopefully you guys don't crash into each other. According to the map, I've gone this far, and then I still have to go this far. Singapore is known for having a lot of laws, and one of them is that you can't feed chickens. If you ever decide to go to Singapore, I would recommend reviewing a list of their laws, just to make sure you don't accidentally break any of them. I know one of them is that you can't chew any gum, so gum is forbidden here. And then you're also not allowed to be a fortune teller. If you tell somebody's fortune here, your ass is going to jail. A little bit more about Singapore. It actually spent about 100 years as a colony of Britain, and that's why people here speak English, and that's also why people here got mad at me for walking on the right side of the trail. The country of Singapore does not want you to vape. For the last couple of miles, I've been walking along a busy street, so it's nice to finally walk somewhere that looks like this. With Singapore being right next to the equator, I fully expected this to be a very hot and humid walk. But from what I've experienced so far, it's not that bad. It's like low 80s and not that humid. But with that being said, I'm still gonna look around for a cafe to rest my feet and drink plenty of water. I rested up for a little while and I got some water, so now it's time to continue. And I think I'm going to take a slightly different route than I originally planned. I saw that there's a very scenic trail that goes right through the middle of Singapore. It's not quite the same, but it should still get me to where I'm trying to go. It's seems that otters are quite the nuisance around here. I wish that the nuisances that we had back at home were that cute. Singapore and Hong Kong often get compared to each other because both places are very small Asian economic powerhouses. And now that I've been to both places, I've got to say that they're very different. Hong Kong's more of a cyberpunk dystopia, and by comparison, Singapore kind of feels like being in the suburbs. And I mean that with all due respect. Well, I've now arrived at the monkey part of the walk. I didn't know that there would be a monkey part. Truth be told, I'm a little afraid of monkey attacks. I know I got into a bit of a fight with a monkey back in India, so I'll be on my best behavior. This nature park goes through the center of Singapore, which seems to be the most undeveloped part of the island. It's very rugged and green. There is a monkey at the beginning of this trail, and I wanted to take a picture of it and film it, but I know that that's how I got into a bit of a scuffle with the other monkey from last year, which is why I didn't do it again. We got some monkeys up ahead. I'm just gonna pass them as if I'm doing nothing. They're so cute though. I want to take a picture of one, but I know I can't. That was a bit of a risk on my end, but I think the trick is not to make eye contact with them. That seems to be what pisses them off. There's a kid back there who pulled out some food, and the monkeys noticed. They went up to him and demanded the food, but luckily the kid's dad scared away the monkeys, so the kid is safe. I found a tower in the middle of the forest and decided to climb up it. Probably not the smartest thing to do on the day that I'm walking across the country. Here are the reasons why you should not feed monkeys. Basically, they become aggressive, and it fucks with nature. I finally made it to the edge of the jungle. I was not expecting to spend so much of my day fending off monkeys. I was expecting a easy stroll through the jungle, but it's never that easy when there are monkeys about. I read that there are supposed to be flying squirrels in this part of the jungle, but unfortunately I haven't seen any of them, and I'm about to leave the jungle, so there go my chances of seeing flying squirrels today. And just like that, I leave the jungle and I'm already back in the city. Crazy how this country works. Alright, well, I just finished up a delicious meal in this food market, and I checked the map. If I go the most direct route, I'm about 3.5 miles away from where I want to go. Who knows if that's actually the route I'm going to take, but good news is that I'm not too far from finishing today, which feels very nice. I found this trail that brings me at least part of the way to where I want to end up. And this trail is actually, or at least it used to be, a railroad back in the day. And, ooh, there's a chicken crossing the road. Let's take a look at that. Here is a map of Singapore. So today I started walking from about here, and then I went like through the jungle here, and then I'm hoping to end up at around here. I'm about 2 miles from the end of this walk, and I'm walking through what appears to be an American-style suburb. This must be where the real crazy rich Asians live. This has been a fun walk, but I'm definitely ready for it to be over already. My thighs are super sweaty, and I'm walking very weird so that they don't rub together and give me blisters. I guess I didn't have to share that, but I did. Those chickens over there were fighting just a second ago. Of course, they stop as soon as I pull out my camera. Well, I've made it to the promenade of West Coast Park, which means that I've officially walked across all of Singapore in one day. I checked my step counter. It was about 23 miles of walking today. And some final thoughts. I love Singapore. It was an awesome country. But I should have drank more water. And if you're watching this at home, you should also drink more water before the upcoming water wars. All right, see ya. That's it.